weirdly enough, now I'm kind of grateful that I got it at that age, because that's kind of like a formative time where you kind of like form your patterns. Like when I think back to it now, I'm like, if that wasn't kind of in my schedule of how I ran my life, like if I got it at 25, I think it would have been a lot harder. Whereas like having it from that age and through my teens, it's kind of like I can't really imagine waking up without having an injection or like having a breakfast. Like, and kind of in that weird way, it really is like ingrained in how I kind of go day to day.
Yeah. And I totally get that. And like, I think even recently on podcasts, I was talking about, I don't really remember too much, even though I was diagnosed at 16. I don't really remember like the mechanics of just going to a birthday party when I was young before I had diabetes and just eating whatever I wanted and not having to worry about it. To me, it's just injections and testing and bolusing are just part of the routine now. It's just kind of how, seems like how things have always been.
Mm-hmm.
It's that old theory of like, if you're diagnosed, I think I've said it before on the podcast, like if you're diagnosed in childhood versus adulthood, because we have less to grieve. I guess like as a child, your grief process is much different than as an adult. Like when you're little, when you're diagnosed in those formative years, like Bambi and I were, you don't really think about adult you as much. You're like, oh, will we even get there? Right. But like if you're diagnosed when you're 25, you're like, oh my God, will I have kids? Will I do this? Will I do that? Whereas for us, we were diagnosed so young that it's like already a part of your life. You have this chance to create routines and things that you like I know my diabetes will always be there kind of thing. So it's almost a little comforting, like Bambi said.
Yeah, it becomes really normal, right?